It's your friendly neighborhood laser lady. I have been making a living off one of the most saturated markets for the last 12 years, and you can too. We are talking about laser cut jewelry. We're going to go over all the basics you need to know to make laser cut jewelry that sells. We're covering laser cutting and engraving techniques specifically for jewelry to make yours stand out from the rest so you can start making that money. Let's dive in. Starting a laser cut jewelry business. Whether you want to go all in and start a laser cut jewelry business or you want to perfect another line of products to sell, you're in the right place. First and foremost, the equipment you have will very much dictate what you are able to make. That's why I'll be using the FLUX beamo, also the sponsor of this video. One, because it is a CO2 laser, which will allow us to cut and engrave all types of acrylics, even clear ones. Two, because it's an entry-level CO2 laser, so you can test your success with these products on a budget. And three, because it's perfectly sized, adorable, and I love it. If you are working with a diode laser, the upcoming tips will be helpful. You will just need to consider the materials you are limited to. Let me show you a little bit of what we are going to be making. And bonus, I have a free download for these designs down below, along with a helpful supplies list. So grab that and let's begin. A simple flower 3 ways, covering the basics of laser cut jewelry. This is a simple little flower design uploaded in the FLUX beam studio. Pretty unassuming, right? Now let's cut them out and make sure you keep those inside little pieces. I will be doing something really special with these, so stick around until the very end and I'll tell you all about it. First, I'll cut these out of wood. Note on wood when it comes to jewelry. Plywood or MDF core woods are okay for other projects, but solid wood is best for jewelry, in my opinion. Think of a precious metal ring. There's a big difference between gold-plated and solid gold, right? Next, I'm going to use this diode-compatible acrylic. You will want to leave the masking on. If your material did not come with masking or it has clear masking on it, remove that and replace it with some masking tape. This will protect the acrylic from all the blowback residue when cutting, and it will be easy to get off. But if you don't want to use masking, let's say because you're engraving something really detailed, that's okay. I'll show you what to do about that here in just a moment. Last one, I am going to use this Fancy Pants glitter acrylic. This one is not diode compatible, which is where the beamo comes in handy with its 30-watt C02 tube. That self-contained sucker slashes right through this stuff. And I left the masking off so I can show you how to buff this up. Okay, now let's compare these terms and talk about perceived value a little bit. Here we have the solid walnut charms. I'm going to sand these a little bit and give them a quick spray with some Rust-Oleum clear coat. It really brings out that wood, right? You know what it also does? Protects from facial oils, makeup, hairspray, and more. We need to consider these things when making jewelry. Next, before we get these red flowers uncovered, we need to file down the edges a little bit. These edges can be kind of sharp, especially if something comes to a point. So to give the customer the best product ever and to make sure they come back for more, we don't want things poking or scratching them. I am using a metal file. It lasts forever and you have way more control over where you're filing than, say, sandpaper. Highly recommend one of these. They come in super handy. To get the masking off easily, you can use some duct tape. I like the Gorilla brand because it's super strong. Now look at these, they're looking freaking great. Here are the glitter flowers. It's hard to see any residue left over from the cutting process, but let's give these extra shine with the Novus No. 2 plastic polish. Beautiful, so shiny. Now to file the edges, take off the clear masking on the back side, which is a little more difficult to do, and now we're done. Take a look at what we've got so far. Which style do you like best? Which looks like it's more valuable? Which might match with more outfits? Is this a good style for this time of year? Believe it or not, your customer unconsciously or consciously thinks these same questions before they hand their hard-earned money over, so keep them in mind. Color engraving and layer techniques. Those flower charms are great, but let's get fancy. We've got lasers to engrave things, so let's engrave things. First, let's start with that same walnut wood again. Make sure you assign the engravings the perfect settings. We don't want these strawberry seeds to be too deep and cut out. The red lines will need to be set to line engrave. This is essentially a low-level cut line meant to just draw onto the wood. It will go around the engraving, so we need to make sure all the settings are low and locked in. Let's get these over to our workstation and sand them a little bit. Brush away the dust and let's get some color on this thing. I like to use oil paint markers. If you have acrylic paint pens, then use those. These paint markers are quick to use and makes drawing on your paint a lot easier than whipping out a whole paintbrush situation. With a steady hand, I'm going to just color this in, just like when we used to do our very best with coloring books back in the day. While that dries, let's get out that red acrylic again and pair it with some green. First, we engrave and cut. Diode lasers have a hard time engraving deep into acrylics. You may need a few passes. Since the beamo is a C02, we can engrave a good depth in just one quick pass. Now, back over to paint. With the masking still on, we can be a little reckless with our painting. If you don't have a steady hand, then this method will be easiest for you. We're going to color in all the seeds and the strawberry leaf lines on the green part. While that is drying, let's go back to the laser with some other fancy acrylics. If you can't tell yet, glitter, glitz, shimmery, and textured acrylics are my absolute favorite. Here's an expert tip for you when it comes to coloring, especially acrylic engraved pieces. Get your material on your laser bed and secure it. Then you set your laser to just engrave. When it is done, you can color in the engravings while it is still in the laser. Just make sure you don't move it around or your cut lines are going to be off. This is especially useful when you have a lot of paint to do or a lot of little pieces. Now go back into your program and turn off the engraving and turn back on those cut lines. There you have it. Now we have our pieces. Time to assemble these 2-layered acrylic strawberries. Peel off the masking just like last time. If you find any paint that is seeped through or smudged, you can use a little Novus No. 2 plastic polish to take all that off. Now to make a permanent bond between these two acrylics, I'm going to use Weldon No. 3 or No. 4. This will permanently bond the 2 layers together. There are a few ways to get this icky chemical where we need it. One of these bottles, which is a bit unpredictable when it comes to fine, detailed, small things like this, or what I like to use is this. I call it an upholstery needle taped to a screwdriver. The name is still a work in progress. What this does is now we can dip the needle eye into the solvent, grabbing just a little bit, and dab it on a corner where the 2 acrylics are touching. There's a lot of warning labels on this stuff, so do read that. If you don't have a big needle like this hanging around, try an old paintbrush. It might melt the paintbrush hairs depending on what it's made out of, so test that out a little bit first. It sucks in between the layers, and in just moments, it's dry and ready to go. Let's do that with the other acrylic pieces, and now they're all done. Now we have some multicolor, multi-layer charms to make all sorts of fun stuff with. Laser cut jewelry, warning. We've gone over a lot so far. So much value is in the technique, but I can talk all day long about what works, but what is just as important is what doesn't. First, designs that won't make it out here in the real world. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of laser cut jewelry files out there. I sell some myself even, but there is a big difference between jewelry designs that were made to be worn and jewelry designs that were made in 5 minutes to make a few bucks selling them on Etsy. Small holes break. Overly complex, thin lines will break. It doesn't matter if you scale it up, make it out of wood or acrylic. If the design is too intricate and the customer picks it up too hard or drops it one time and it breaks, well, that's going to show up in your reviews. And there's no bad publicity as good publicity in small business. That's a make or break for us little guys. Next, just like with any niche, when starting out, Try to pick a design lane. Jewelry is a niche, but when you start out, think cohesive collections. Start with 5 flower designs, 5 cat designs, geometric designs, things like that. And last warning, before I overwhelm you completely, your equipment matters. You have already seen that the materials you use make a big difference in the perceived value of your jewelry pieces. But there is no way to open yourself up to all the possibilities of materials out there when you are working with a low-level diode laser. I love them, don't get me wrong, I have a bunch, but just the jewelry niche is so giant, and the more you can differentiate yourself, the more you're going to be able to stand out. That's why I recommend the Beamo. It won't take up an entire garage. It won't eat into your electricity bill. The machine is compact, self-sufficient. The cooling system and air assist blower are all inside the machine. You can easily find space for this in any small workspace you might have, and it's not a $10,000 investment. You can save up for that later. If you want to try out jewelry or expand your crafty wares to include every type of acrylic and laserable material out there, check out the FLUX beamo in my link below. And while you're there, download the supply list and laser files. Plus, I will have more mini tutorials like this in the laser layer. It's a new community I've just started where you can ask questions, get social, and see what I ended up doing with those extra little bits I told you not to get rid of. Did you think I forgot about those? No way. So come on over to the laser layer and check it out. It's free to join. I would love for you to see how easy the FLUX beamo is to set up and what else you can do with it. So check out this video next. Thank you so much for watching and happy crafting.